Fortnite NewsCast, brought to you by the average gamer for the average gamer. This is episode 3. We've made it 3 weeks so far, Garrett.
It's pretty awesome. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and I hope that we can keep going for the longevity of Fortnite.
I agree. So sorry this episode is out a day late, guys. There's been some construction going on at my house, and I haven't had a quiet place to record. So day late, but content's still just as good.
Better late than never.
So getting right into it, Playground LTM is back, and with some changes. So V2 brings you, you get to choose your teams now. When you load into the game, you're all on the same team, but if you press start and go all the way down to the bottom of your start menu, it says change teams, and you can choose up to 4 teams. So it can be a 1v1 v1v1 or 2v2, 3v1, stuff like that. Matches won't end now if somebody leaves the server. Galt's cart have been added and spawn 100% of the time. Increased rocket ammo drop rates, and I think I read that you can hold up to 60 rockets in Playground.
Really? I didn't know that it was that much.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
They added 100 supply drops that will drop throughout the hour. Chests now spawn 3 weapons and more ammo and consumables. Floor loot spawns 3 items. And that means like a gun and its ammo, right? So you can have up to 6 things spawn.
Yeah, so it'd be like you could have 3 guns and 3 piles of ammo.
Yeah.
Which I like that, because that's one thing that when we talked about, I think it was in our first episode, that we said that the ammo is the one thing that they've had an issue with in this game so far. I'm glad that they've kind of touched on that. Now you get max ammo very easily. Yeah.
Along with that, the ammo boxes that you find around the map, when you open those, they give you 10 times more ammo than they would previously. So it's a lot like the resources. When you break a tree, you get 10 times more resources than you would normally, and that's how it is with the ammo boxes now too. So they increased the chug jug and slurp drop rate or spawn rate, and they decreased bandage spawn rate. Chug jug is now floor loot, and the respawn timer is down from 10 seconds to 3 seconds, so you can get back into the action faster.
Which is nice. And I remember when we were playing Playgrounds last time, for some reason we both read somewhere that the when you drop in that your parachute deploys lower, and for some reason I couldn't find it. And I know because we were talking about it, and we were like, it really doesn't seem like it's changed at all, if it's even changed whatsoever. And I couldn't find it, and I have no idea where we both got that thought from. At least in the version of the patch notes I read, it said nothing about your parachute deploying lower when you get closer to the ground.
Oh,
which is really weird, because I know you thought you had the same thought process that I did.
Yeah, no, I'm reading the patch notes right now, and it says lowered forced glider deploy height, so players can get back into the action more quickly. So supposedly, when you drop down, you can, your glider will deploy lower. That's what the patch notes are making it sound like, but I haven't noticed a difference between regular game and Playground mode.
Yeah, I have not either. So with this patch, 5.1 hype, we got the new SMG, which was a crazy ride through the last couple days with this gun. As soon as it dropped, it was absolutely insane. They upped the spawn rate's high. I don't know if they do this when they introduce a new weapon and increase the spawn rate of it just so it gives people the chance to use it. But it seemed like this thing was dropping very frequently, and it was crazy good. This gun hits for 23 to 24 damage, whether you have the purple or the gold version of it. And its fire rate is insane. It drops people so fast. I actually saw a video of them comparing that with the Thanos laser when that limited time game mode was out, and the Thanos gauntlet actually has a slower fire rate. It only hits for 18, where the compact SMG hit for 23 or 24 from the same distance. So for how fast you were dropping people with that Thanos gauntlet, you can drop people a lot faster with the compact SMG. And they realized that this was going to be a huge change, or a huge problem for the game. So they rolled an emergency patch, I think 2 or 3 days after that the gun was released, and shut it down. Well, I don't want to say they shut it down, but they made it a lot more balanced. So they ran out an SMG nerf as a whole. As you guys know, that there's the silenced SMG, the submachine gun the compact SMG, and they took out the tactical SMG. So some of the changes they made was the submachine gun and the compact SMG initial accuracy bonus has been reduced from 35% to 15%, which is really nice because that compact SMG, you really didn't need many shots to put somebody down. The submachine gun damage reduced from 19, 20, and 21 to 17, 18, 19, depending on which rarity you have. The compact SMG was reduced from 23, 24 to 22, 21. So it still does a lot of damage and has a lot of output, but there are ways to counter it now, because it just seemed like you would get dropped within 5 seconds of being shot with that weapon. The SMG. Well,
I think the biggest.
What's up?
I think the biggest thing for me was that it would just shred through building.
That's true.
There was no point to build if you got into a fight with somebody with an SMG. Some people were even rocking 2, 3, or 4 of these compact SMGs.
Yeah.
And with 50 rounds per clip, you were build locked. All you could do is sit there and try and hold turbo build and build a wall in front of you. There was no way you were getting elevation on them, anything. But with this damage drop off, they reduced the damage drop off, but also the total damage that it does went down. You can actually build on these people to try and get the height advantage, and they won't be able to shoot your building down as easy. That was the biggest thing for me.
I agree, and that was a big problem that I noticed as well. And we talked last time about shotguns being obsolete with the introduction of the submachine gun, just the normal submachine gun. And now that the compact SMG is here, the shotguns were so out of place when the compact SMG dropped and was so overpowered at first. And I still think that, we're in that situation where shotguns, if you have a compact SMG, there's no point in having a shotgun. I was seeing people in the summer skirmish tournaments, they were just avoiding shotguns and picking up compact SMGs if they had the opportunity. And yeah, like you said, there were a lot of people that were running 2 or 3 of them just to have that 100-round quick fire. And then the SMG fire rate was reduced from 13 to 12. I really don't know how they measure their fire rates, because it seems to be low numbers. It's not so many rounds per minute or rounds per second or however they have it. It's just from 13 to 12, and it's to me it's confusing. But they did lower the fire rate of the SMG, and then the drop rates for the rare SMG and the compact SMGs, both epic and legendary, are reduced as well.
Yeah, I think these changes really helped make the game more balanced, because for a few days there, I mean, really, from the introduction of the SMG and then up to this SMG nerf, the game was pretty broken. I mean, I was getting more frustrated than when I was getting double pumped, because there was nothing you could do against these. They had so many rounds. The damage was so high. There was no way to counter them. You would have to launch pad out of there, or you would have to get a lucky shot on them, or hope their accuracy was bad. But these guns were pumping out so many bullets so fast and with such high damage that you could take somebody down from 200 to 0 in roughly a second. That's how many bullets they were putting into you in that amount of time. So you really didn't even have time to react.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was crazy, especially when this first dropped. Yeah, the nerf really helps, and I think that the nerf does give shotguns a fair play in the game now, even if it is just that first shot accuracy switch to the SMG and finish like that. One thing I've actually been doing a lot, and I was watching Daquan yesterday play, and he was talking about why he chooses to use the Tommy gun over the SMGs, and it has that more range, and it doesn't. I said that like an idiot. It has more range than an SMG has. So he said when he likes to push fights at closer mid range, that the Tommy gun it's a great substitute. And I was trying to do that during some of my solo showdown matches yesterday, and I did find that I like that. Other than it pulling from my medium ammo, which is tough because everyone's always running out of medium ammo. I did like the Tommy gun in a spot where if I only had a regular submachine gun, I would switch it out for a Tommy gun if I found a Tommy gun. And I find that the slower rate of fire kind of, for some reason, I don't know, I was able to break through builds. It seems easier and get shots on a person before they get their next build, and it's a little more powerful.
That's why. because the damage is so much higher than of the SMGs.
And I like that. I'm still kind of playing around with it, so I don't know what I like more. I think that I'm still kind of leaning more towards the compact SMG, but I do need to give the Tommy gun a little more of a try.
Yeah. So moving away from the SMGs, as a lot of you guys know, the birthday event started. It'll end August 7th, and there's a couple of challenges that you can do to earn some cool stuff. So you got to play 14 matches, deal 1,000 damage to opponents, and dance in front of 10 birthday cakes. All of these 10 birthday cakes, there's one in Flush Factory, Fatal Fields, Paradise Palms, Retail Row, Greasy Grove, between Tilted Towers and Loot Lake. East of Pleasant Park, south of Lazy Links, there's one in Lonely Lodge, and southeast of Risky Reels. After you complete these 3 challenges, one of them gives you an emoticon, one of them gives you XP. What does the other one give you?
The other one gives you a spray, I believe.
A spray. And then once you complete all 3 of those, you get the birthday cake back bling. It's pretty cool. It's a birthday cake with a slice out of it. It's got a number 1 candle with a flame on it. Definitely worth doing. Doesn't take too long. Sit down for an hour or 2 and you can have all 3 of these challenges done.
I haven't taken that back bling off since I got it. I think it looks really cool. For some reason, I run it on my drift because now I got the big drift coat. And then with that just birthday cake on it, I think it's like honestly such an obnoxious skin. It's awesome. And yet, like the 10 birthday cakes, me and you both actually, we hadn't even talked about it. And then when we got on and we were talking about how fast we finished them, you can really get these done in 2 or 3 matches. There were points where there was one match where I knocked out 5 birthday cakes in one match. You just grab an ATK, or you can rift from cake to cake, and it's really not that hard to do. And also another thing about these birthday cakes is they're really hard to miss. They're just giant white tiered birthday cakes sitting out in the open. There's balloons scattered around them, but also around them are slices of birthday cake, which are really cool. And if you eat them, they're pretty much you go up to them and consume them like you would one of the mushrooms or an apple, and they give you 5 HP and 5 shield. So with the amount of slices of cake that are around here, you can get 40 health and 40 shield from eating, I guess, a whole serving of cake.
Whole serving. That's a whole cake there, buddy.
Yeah, it is.
So a couple of other changes. These are just minor changes that come with the birthday event. They changed the bus. So it's all decked out in birthday attire. It's got streamers and everything coming off of it. And the music that plays in the battle bus is like a techno birthday song.
Trap birthday.
Yeah. It's odd. It's interesting. It's cool. I'm glad to see it for this couple of weeks, but I'll be glad to go back to the regular.
Yeah, for sure. I like the bus. The bus looks really cool. They have like almost like half-assed wrapping paper taped to the top of the balloon. I think it's cool.
So in patch 5.1, we have seen some pretty significant changes, one of them being Slurp Juice got a major buff.
Yes.
So before it would give you 25 health and 25 shield over, I don't know, an ungodly amount of time. It was just way too long. But now it grants 75 HP, and it does half in HP, or it does 2 HP a second. So how do I explain this? So it grants 75 HP. If you have 25 HP, all of that will go to your health and you'll get up to 100 HP. But if you have 75 health, it will give you 25 health and the remainder 50 will go into shields. So it'll prioritize your health first, but whatever is left over will go into shields. So if your health is full and you don't have any shield and you take this, that's an automatic 75 HP. So I think you might see people stacking Slurp Juice now, and not to mention the time that it takes to heal all that up, to get all the benefit from these Slurp Juice. It's really quick now. I think the entire process is much shorter than what it was before, and you're gaining 25 extra HP or shields.
Yeah, I like these a lot. I think that it's really cool, and I like that they're prioritizing health because there are a lot of things that will kill you in the game, and that they don't take your shield down. So like running through the storm, taking fall damage, things like that, shield does not matter. You could have 100 shield at 2 health and die to storm with 1 tick, die from small fall damage, things like that. I do like that they're prioritizing health.
Yeah, I agree. So there have been, go ahead.
So kind of going on to like different changes that we made across the map. Risky Reels has changed. If you guys haven't checked it out, it looks really cool. They've taken it, as you guys saw at the I think it was the end of season 4 or the beginning of season 4 when the meteor hit. We got the little cinematic at the beginning where it was a drive-in theater. So now they've actually revamped it to make it a full drive-in theater. Now they have not fixed the movie screen. There's still the massive chunk taken out of it, but there are cars and rows and little almost like streets in there that now face the movie screen as if it was a real an open drive-in theater. And they fixed a lot of the buildings, so there's not holes in the ceiling anymore. It looks really good. There's a lot of the chests that spawn in the cars that are like there at the the drive-in movie theater now. So if you guys checked out Risky Reels, check it out. I mean, it's still kind of busy just because there's, not everybody has seen it yet. The first couple of days, it was insane going there. It was like it was, just dropped again. But yeah, I think that Risky looks really cool now. I always liked dropping Risky. There were a couple people I know that didn't really like it at all, but I always thought it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's always kind of been a popular drop site. I think there's just enough loot, and you have enough people going there that you can get some action.
Yeah,
so
there's enough loot for a whole squad there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like it.
So supply drops got some changes. Weapons, traps, consumables, and materials. Basically everything that you could find in a supply drop got changed. So some things got removed, some things have a better chance of dropping, some things have a less chance. So I'm just going to run through this stuff really quick. Assault rifles, 225% from 14.2. Explosives, 225 from 28.5. Compact SMG is 14.5%. Sniper rifles, 14.5% from 28.5%. Heavy shotgun, 10%. From 7.1%. I'm excited about that. Minigun, to 10.4% from 14.2. I'm also excited about that. Minigun. They completely removed hand cannons, dual pistols, and silenced pistols from supply drops. Yeah, that's good too.
That needed to be done.
That's like opening socks for Christmas.
Yes, exactly.
Traps, they got rid of all damage dealing traps. Launch pad spawned 44% of the time, and that's up from 9%. That's awesome. Cozy campfire, 33.3% from 7.5. Bouncer, 22.2% from 15%. Consumables, shield potion. Supply drops will always drop 2 consumables. So it could be a shield potion or a chug jug, or 2 shield potions, or shield potion and minis. Any combination. So shield potion, 220% from 19%. Small shield potion, 17.5% from 12%. Medkit, 13.75% from 6%. Slurp juice, 11.25% from 5%. Clinger, 10% from 6%. Remote explosives, 10% from 3%. Impulse grenade, 10% from 4%. Chug jugs, 7.5% from 2.1%. Wow, I didn't realize chug jugs were that rare.
Yeah, and it seems like they honestly come out of there a decent amount of the time. At least I've always realized that chug jugs have a decent spawn rate in them, but now looking at this, I guess they didn't at all. I guess I just got kind of lucky.
Yeah, and they completely removed boogie bombs, grenades, bandages, stink bombs, portaforts, and the legendary bush.
Thank God. For the bush, I kind of like finding bandages in there.
Yeah, and then materials. Every type of material, it drops 2 materials, so it could be 2 stacks of wood, stack of stone, and each one of those has a 33% chance to drop. So all equal. That's it for the supply drop changes.
Yeah. So
a lot of buffs from them.
Yeah. So there's also some other things. A lot of this is it's pretty crazy to think of. So they changed a lot of the building material starting health. So the wood wall starting health from 80 to 100, the stone wall starting health from 80 to 90, wood wall. Hold on, I apologize.
No,
I think I read those wrong. Yeah, I read those wrong. The wood wall starting health 280 from 100, so they dropped that HP by 20. Stone wall starting health 280 from 90. Wood wall max health to 150 from 200. Metal wall max health from 500 or to 500 from 400. I don't know why this confuses me so much. And metal build time to 25 seconds from 20 seconds. So the big thing with wood is that you always would use that in a build fight because it always had a stronger initial health than the other materials. But now that stone has the same starting health as wood and a higher max health than wood, I think that this is going to be, you're going to see a lot of build fights with stone now. I don't think it's going to be completely subjected to the wood like we've seen before. So I think that it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think that's going to take a while to really kick into effect, seeing people building with stone. Number one, because it's harder to find, and it's just kind of my first instinct to start with wood.
Yeah, and
not use stone.
Mm-hmm. You said it perfectly. It's a lot harder to find. I always find myself with more metal and more wood than I do with stone. But if I do have an excess stone, I will build with it. I've been trying to force myself to build with it lately.
Yeah, I mean, they've really been trying to counter. Well,
building.
I can't say that. They've been trying to counter everything in the game right now. But with the SMGs, they did shred through builds. So having the stone start with the same health as wood and having a higher health initially, this will really help if you build with stone in like build fights and whatnot. This will really help from you getting shot down. It'll give you a lot more time to react. Explosives obviously won't be able to do as much damage to it, which we'll get to C4. There have been some huge changes in that. But yeah, that's interesting. There were a lot of storm circle changes. The wait times are just weird. So like time that it takes to shrink. Safe zone 2, 120 from 150. Oh wait, that's wait time.
Yeah, that's the wait time.
And then safe zone 2 shrink time, 120 from 90. Safe zone 4 wait time, 90 from 120. Safe zone 6 wait time, 60 from 90. 7 wait time, 245 from 60. 8, 230 from 60. And then 9, 230 from 45. And they added moving circle to safe zone 6. I really like these new moving circles.
I do too. It really prevents those people that just build up a 1x1 or a very strong and fortified metal fort and just want to sit in that the whole game and force you to come to them. It's pretty. It
was always kind of fun to try and push those, though. I will miss it because you're sitting there with your friends hiding in a little 1x1 shack, and you're like, all right, these guys are on top of the hill. How do we get to them? You're always freaking.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
And I do like the storm circle changes are really cool because once you hit that circle 6, there's really only about a minute until circle is completely going to close. And we were seeing this a lot if you guys watched the Summer Skirmish series where there were honestly they would make it to that 6th circle with about 40 people left, and this was in duos. And after that 6th circle moved and started to close, there was so much fighting and so much action, and I was realizing that also during my solo showdown matches yesterday, where once you hit that, that 6th circle where everything started to move, everything got so hectic and crazy, and it was so much building and so much action. It was awesome.
Yeah. We'll get into Summer Skirmish later. There's a lot to talk about that.
For sure.
So that's all the major stuff from the patch notes. They added a sprint by default option. So if you're on console, instead of having to click in the sprint button, you just sprint automatically. You can hold in the sprint, like the click, or you could click in the stick to walk, or hold it in to walk. But sprint by default, that's really awesome. I'm not spamming my left stick anymore. Pickaxe damage against enemy and ally player structures increased to 75 base damage and 150 critical damage. This is so insane.
It is.
It only takes 2 hits with your pickaxe to destroy a wooden structure now. That's fully built.
It's crazy.
So
a lot easier to take down them tall builds with your pickaxe.
Oh yeah, instead of having to light them up with your gun, using all your ammo and letting the guy that's up top know that you're breaking it down, you can just hit it twice and it'll come down.
I like that. I like that a lot. So kind of moving on, moving on from the 5.1 kind of things, there has been some talk about a data mined weapon that was found in the system, and that weapon is a wall-piercing sniper. So what we found so far, I personally didn't, or Austin didn't. But what they have found so far is not a lot. But we do know that it only will penetrate the first wall, and it has a very slow reload. So I'm not sure if it is going to be like a one shot, and then you're gonna have to reload the weapon. It's gonna take a while to reload, or 2 or 3. I couldn't imagine it having like a 10 round mag that you can fire decently fast, because I think that would be crazy.
It'd be too much, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's two shots maybe, and then a really long reload.
I'm hoping a one shot and a reload.
I would like that, but I mean, with everything they're trying to do to counter building lately, I could really see it being 2 or 3 in the magazine. I don't want it to be like that, but I could see it being like that.
Well, if they do that, I hope it has really low damage, because I don't want to just be sitting in my build and just get smacked by the power of a bolt through my wall. Exactly. I think that what they were thinking originally was stop people from camping 1x1s. But then once you kind of sit back and look at it, you got to think, after a fight and you need to heal, you're going to build yourself in and heal. It doesn't give people that chance to heal and then get back out into the fight if someone's watching you with this wall piercing sniper. I think that's going to cause a lot of problems with people. Even if it does have that low damage output and you get out of a fight with 40 or 50 health, even if that's all it hits you for is 40 or 50, you're dead and you don't even have the chance to heal and get back into the fight. Oh yeah, I completely agree. I think they're really going to have to tread lightly with this. I don't want it to be a situation kind of like the SMG where it's just too overpowered.
Yeah.
I really hope it is just a one shot and super slow reload. Because, yeah. And I mean, it really all depends what the reload speed will be, what the drop off is like. If penetrating through the wall will do less damage.
Yeah, I'm curious about this too, but I do like it's only through one wall, so that's kind of nice. There's sort of a way to counter it, but that's building more than a 1x1, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And is it? Yeah, it's wall piercing sniper. It doesn't destroy the wall, because I know there's a gun in Save the World that's like that, but it just has exploding rounds. And it just blows up the wall.
Yeah, this would make it seem like it goes right through it.
Yeah. All right. So the guided missile is returning.
Yeah, this was announced in a developer update. They had a little series of mini videos talking about things they were going to be doing. I don't know.
Yeah, it was really overpowered to begin with, but that was before they reduced the rocket cap, which I thought was a great change. So when they bring this back, it will have a reduced movement speed, a reduced turn radius, reduced damage, and a reduced blast radius. And the devs were quoted saying that it will be more of a scouting weapon. So I'm excited about that. Cool. Yeah.
I really did like when the guided missile was out, watching some of the things that the streamers would do with it. Watching Ninja and Dr. Lupo play with it, where Ninja would rocket ride Dr. Lupo and fly Lupo around, and he would sit up with a minigun and just rain hell down on people like it was like a chopper gunner from Call of Duty. It was really cool to see. Or people that would rocket ride themselves. That was cool. I know.
That was insane. There were some really cool plays with the guided missile. They're really cool. I really like the gun, but they were just a little overpowered at the time and just pretty annoying.
I agree. They really could cut those tight turns. I think the turn radius is going to be really huge. I think that honestly, there are a lot of things on here that seem like it would be, a lot, obviously reducing the damage and blast radius, but I think that the turn radius is going to be probably the biggest thing that is going to get this weapon more balanced, because it could turn around corners really fast. And if it doesn't have the chance to make that turn, then it doesn't even have the chance to deal damage. You could take these through windows and almost navigate through a house. It was crazy.
Yeah. So this is exciting. I'm excited for them to come back. They'll be really fun to play with in Playground. And I think with the decreased rocket amount that we have now, that they'll be really fun, pretty balanced, and just provide a nice challenge to go up against in Battle Royale. I don't think they're going to be annoying as they were before.
Yeah, I agree. And I know that you said that you were very excited about this, but how about this next thing that the devs talked about with remote explosives?
Oh,
how are you feeling about that? You feeling good?
So I would drop shields, I would drop bandages, I would drop sniper rifles. I would drop rocket and grenade launchers for remote explosives. They were my babies. I loved them. I was, not to brag, but I was really good with them.
It was awesome watching him run around because his biggest thing that he would always preach to, our squad, me and Megan and Alex, he would say, I'm going to drop everything for these. You guys carry healing. I'm going to carry C4. And it throws people in shambles. Like, even if it does not do damage, they just don't know what to do. There's no way to counter it. It was so much fun to watch you just blow their builds down. And, we would get the cleanups. You'd just be throwing, just 5 C4 on somebody's, just keep throwing one, blow it up, one, blow it up, one, blow it up. It was so much fun to watch.
And I'm probably the reason that they got nerfed. People that were playing like me. But they really were just such a tactical tool.
Yeah.
Because people, when two teams collide and they start building up on each other, you can only get 3 ramps up, but then I'll throw a C4 on you, blow you down to the ground. You don't know what to do. You're freaking out. You have to pull back out your build and try and start building. All the while, my 3 other teammates are shooting at you, shooting at your teammates. Everyone's trying to build. I'm just blowing them back down. They're freaking out. They're getting panicked. And when people get panicked, it starts to cloud their judgment. They start not making the right decisions. They don't have time to shoot. They're just trying to build, trying to protect themselves. And that's what was really good about C4, but the changes that they made to them really kind of decreased that. I haven't had a whole lot of time to play lately, so I haven't gotten to test them out.
They're bad.
Bunch. Yeah, they're not nearly as good. You could throw 2 C4 and almost take down a building and tilt it, but now they reduced the radius of the explosion, and players were complaining that they were too accessible. So they decreased the spawn rate, and they're talking about... Oh, wait.
Yeah, this hasn't happened yet. So they did reduce the radius for the explosion, but they said, the devs said that look for changes as early as 5.2, that they're going to reduce the spawn size and decrease the max stack size. So it's getting a triple nerf, really, if you count the radius of the explosion in there, too. So that's really going to suck.
I mean, they're still good... If you get in a build fight, they'll probably, I don't know what the explosion radius is.
It seems like it can hit in a 1x1. It could take down a 1x1 if you get it inside the ramp. But other than that, it seems like it's only taking maybe a wall and then whatever's adjacent to it. So if you're sticking on a wall, it's going to take down the wall and then the 2 side walls that are attached to that. But that's it.
But it's weird though, because I've been in that situation where I've thrown it on a wall and it hasn't taken out the floor.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to kind of, play around with it and see what they do, because I think right now they're in a good spot. The damage radius is reduced. You can get a couple of them, so you can still take down these builds. And I honestly, playing in my matches the last couple of days, I really haven't run into a lot of people using C4. And if so, it wasn't anything noticeable enough for me to be like, wow, that guy's using C4. Like, because you could always tell if you build this big, massive build and it gets taken down with one explosion. It's hard. You just can't tell now because it blows up such little of your build that it's hard to tell that someone's actually using C4.
Right. Yeah. I'm excited to see how this change affects my gameplay particularly. Like I said, I would drop anything for remote explosives, and a stack of 10 to them was the best thing I could get. Yeah. I'm excited to see how this changes things. I really am.
It just started as soon as I started to like C4 and started to pick it up after you hounded me to do it, and I finally do it and I love it, and then nerf it. It sucks.
Should have gotten it in before then.
Yeah.
So, as you guys know, Fortnite is out on mobile on iPhone, and there's a rumored Android release in August.
That'll be cool. I'll probably download that and play while I'm at work or something like that. I'm not sure, but I do know that it's kind of tough to play on the phone. But Fortnite's a tough game regardless, so I'm eager to at least try it on my phone.
Yeah, I'm not a mobile gamer, but for all you guys out there that are, this has got to be exciting for you, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's really it for all the changes, all the new news. Getting into the week 3 challenges, your weekly challenges, obviously, you deal 500 damage in a single match, use a launch pad, and follow the treasure map in Flush Factory. Those are the free challenges. For the battle pass challenges. You have to search 7 chests in Fatal, shoot 5 clay pigeons at different locations, one at each location, and there are 6 locations. To the left of the bridge, if you're traveling from Risky to Lazy, northwest of the 3-story house, west of Pleasant Park.
Yeah, so like the grandma's house,
Oh, yeah.
That's like west of Pleasant. It's just
It's like out in
northwest
the
of that
woods.
house. Yeah, it was really hard to explain. That was my best attempt at explaining it.
The northeast corner of Loot Lake, it's by the chest spawn, like the little camp area.
Mm-hmm.
North of Lonely Lodge. We didn't get that one, did we?
We didn't. No, that was the one that we didn't grab.
West of the wooden chair structure. So there's a...
It's like a little
Yeah.
town, like a little village above Flush
So
Factory,
it's
like to the north of Flush Factory.
North of Flush Factory.
So
it's
almost off the map, really.
Yeah, kind of like the gallows chair-looking structure that's built. It's to the west of that. And then finally, south of Paradise Palms at the bottom of the river. It's right at the edge of the map.
Yeah.
And then you have to get 3 explosive weapon eliminations.
I would recommend for you people that are doing the clay pigeons, have a shotgun, because trying to hit these with anything other than a shotgun is pretty tough. It's not that it's not doable. It's just you're going to do it a lot faster and then be able to get back into the fight with, if you have a shotgun to do it.
And skeet shooting was meant to be done with shotguns.
Correct.
You got to be true to the period, man.
So, yeah, I mean, this weekend's been full of fun and everything. So, Solo Showdown's back. If you guys don't know what the Solo Showdown is, it is a limited time game mode that only runs for about 3 days. So you jump into a match, you play 25 matches of this limited time game mode, and your 25 matches are recorded by Epic. What they do is they give out prizes to the top 100 players. So the way that it is scored is it is based on your placement. So if you place, first place in a match, you will get 100 points towards your final score. If you get, second place, I think it's 98 points. Third place, 95 points. And it keeps going down. So the lower you are, the less points that you get. And then each kill that you get during that match is worth an additional 6 points to your final score. So they take the top 100 scores, and there are some awesome prizes. So first place gets 50,000 V-Bucks. Second, third, and fourth place get 25,000 V-Bucks. From fifth to 50th, that's a tongue twister. From those places, you get 13.5 thousand V-Bucks. 51st to 100th, and you get 7,500 V-Bucks. So I'm shooting for that 51st to 100. So I just hope that I win something. Yeah, I said,
those are some insane prizes.
It's awesome, and I'm really excited. And they obviously can't give away cash, but I do believe that you do have to be, I think it's 16 to play in this. But I don't really think they're actually going to check for ages as long as your PlayStation account says you're above, a certain age. That'll be fine.
And if you do well in this solo showdown, this kind of puts you on Epic's radar to invite you to the Summer Skirmish. The last weekend's winner, the guy with all the controversy behind him, iDrops Bodies, he actually, the only reason he got an invite was because he did really well in his showdowns.
That's awesome.
Limited time showdowns. So that's why he got an invite. So if you end up getting that first place, maybe even second through fourth, you could have the opportunity to play in one of these showdowns, or maybe even get invited to Fortnite Fridays when they open those back up.
I think that would be really cool for you to be able to get invited and then play with certain streamers that you watch every single day, that you admire, and you hope to someday make money playing video games. And I was actually watching in the Summer Skirmish this past week. There were a couple big streamers that didn't get invited that were actually playing with people from the from the solo showdown events. Like, I know Daquan, really? He didn't get invited, but Epic invited the guy that was playing with Daquan, and Daquan's playing with him to get into the tournament. So I think that was really cool. So you could actually have the opportunity to play with some of those big name people on your team solely for the fact that you did well in these solo showdown events.
Oh, that might have just been because it was like a partner-partner scenario. They wanted to partner up regardless, and Daquan might not have gotten an invite because him and that the guy that got invited were going to be on a team anyways.
Yeah, I just think that's really cool that you could there's the potential to be playing with some streamers like that if that's the case.
Yeah.
So yeah, and more stuff this weekend happened. Summer Skirmish week 3. So how it was a duos format like the first one, which was, I don't want to say a disaster, but it was less than,
It was a disaster.
It was a disaster. Okay. So it was a duos format. So they set up a private lobby, and all of these duos went in there. All these, pros and streamers, things like that. So the first duo to reach 13 points is the winner. We'll get to the point system in a second, but there were 10 matches total played. If they reach 10 matches, that's it. If there's not a team that's at 13, then you just take the highest score. So first duo to reach 13 points is the winner. Victory royales and eliminations will be scored to determine the placement at the end of the event. The top 20 teams at the end of the Summer Skirmish will be awarded. If victory royale was worth 4 points, 5 or more eliminations was worth 2 points, and the most eliminations per match would grant the team $6,500. So this is one thing that they needed, because last time, it was camping. That's all it was. It was the duos would find the best spots to hide, not come out. They would get, 2 kills, and that would be at the end of it. I think they did a really good job. So on Friday, it was the NA teams, so it was the American teams. Energy Zate and SKT Saf won. Hesse TTV and Ghost Bizzle got second place. Liquid Chap and FaZe Tempo got third place. A couple other notable teams that were in this is TSM Myth and TSM Hamlins. They actually didn't even place in the top 20, and neither did FaZe Tifu or FaZe Cloak, which I was really surprised to see that. It was pretty cool to watch at the end of. So they actually had to go to 10 matches in the North American bracket, and Hesse and Ghost Bizzle were at 12 points going into the last one, and they got their 5 kills and were playing pretty cocky, and we're like, yeah, we won. And then they were just honestly just insane building with no sense, and they ended up losing. And then Energy Zate and SKT Saf actually got 5 eliminations and got the victory royale to come back and win from being down so many points. And it was crazy how it happened. Was I'm trying to think, was it Friday or Saturday that it happened like this? I can't remember, but in the last match, a player actually dropped down and took fall damage in the storm and was shooting through builds and actually found the last guy with a headshot. Randomly shooting through builds to win. Yeah. I can't remember if that was NA or EU, but still, it was amazing. And speaking of EU, that was on Saturday. So the winners of that, Atlantis Mitro and Atlantis Magan, won that. And then Main Flexi and Main Pate 1K got second place, and Twitch Grey Fox and Mouse Mops third place. Sup Reflections and Sup Hex got fourth place, and SIA Nix and SIA Swayzen got fifth place. Reflections was playing crazy. He's really good to watch. He was really entertaining and really fun when they had him on the big screen.
There's a lot of clans over there.
Yeah, it was a success. I would say that this was probably the most fun that I've had watching a Summer Skirmish event, because I actually got to watch pretty much both full days. It was awesome. And they had one of my favorite streamers, Courage JD, casting it. He's a retired Call of Duty caster, so it was cool. He did a very good job. It was awesome. It was really entertaining. They had a really great format. It was fun, and I think that they completely bounced back and should be completely forgiven for their week 1 mishaps.
So that's all for the Summer Skirmish. We've got one more thing to talk about. It's bugs. There's just one notable bug this week. Do this before it gets patched. It's really fun. It's really trolly. You can do some really funny stuff with it. It's an invisible wall glitch. So if you build a wooden wall, and when it is building and it hits 143 HP, if you hit it with your pickaxe, don't hit the blue circle. But if you hit it, it will become invisible, and you're able to repair it, get it back up to full health. You're able to edit it. You're able to put traps on it. The traps are not invisible, but the wall is still invisible. So I've seen people build invisible 1x1s and just have a floating platform at the top. I mean, it's the amount of things you can do with it are endless. It's really funny. Apparently you can do it with a metal wall as well. You put a metal wall up, and then you just edit a window into it a bunch of times really fast.
It has to be on the left side of the metal wall, like the far left side. And from the video I saw, you have to aim at like the left side of the middle left box. So there was a certain spot you had to aim at it. There's a bunch of tutorials on YouTube on how to do it, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really fun glitch. Like I said, you can build an invisible wall, put like a trap above it. People think they could run through it, but they get trapped. I mean, possibilities are endless. I'm really excited to see what some of the streamers will do.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it would be fun to just like be in a fight and then make these, invisible walls and then just start dancing at somebody and then they just try to spam you and none of their shots hit. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right.
So, all right. Thanks guys for tuning in. Again, this has been the third episode of the Fortnite Newscast. If you guys want to check us out, you can look us up on YouTube at Fortnite Newscast. You can also find us on Twitter at CastFortnite, and you can find us on Stitcher Radio as well. So thank you guys for tuning in, and remember, stay average, gamers.